Welcome back to Beyond the Curve. I got some great and exciting, creepy, mysterious conspiracy videos for you today. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Let's use our minds to open our eyes to see truth in plain sight. Let's expose lies. And let's jump right in.
The definition of the uncanny valley effect is in aesthetics. The uncanny valley is a hypothesized relation between an object's degree of resemblance to a human being and the emotional response to the object. In simpler terms, if something looks extremely similar to a human, our senses can still determine that it's not, and our nervous system almost instinctually reacts with a fear response. This would have to be an evolved function for some reason, as the fear response is a survival mechanism. Could this mean that at some point, humans were not at the top of the food chain and had a predator that was capable of mimicry or shapeshifting? Indie game developer David Szymanski tweets, "One of the most frightening things I've ever heard is when someone pointed out that the existence of the uncanny valley implies that at some point there was an evolutionary reason to be afraid of something that looked human but wasn't. The modern definition of the uncanny valley effect seems to refer heavily to AI and robotic imposters, but that is only a modern application of our fear response. The Outsider by Stephen King does a frightful job of imagining how a predator like this could function, with the grief eater feeding on the grief surrounding a family after losing a loved one, using some sort of shape-shifting or mimicry ability to take someone's form before committing a heinous crime, causing confusion, suspicion, paranoia, and desperation, with the goal seeming to be a total family annihilation. The grief eater showcases a similar intelligence level and consciousness to its human counterpart, but has lived so long it doesn't even know when it was born, what it is, or how many of it there are, only that there are more, and he himself is a rather ravenous, wild one, and that the need to feed drives his existence, insinuating that more controlled, assimilated, and even organized grief eaters could be living among the populace of the civilized world. So why do we fear the uncanny valley effect?"
The uncanny effect, I think there's more to it than they want you to think. They explain it away simply as like robots that look human but are off a little. I think it has a lot to do with reptilian shapeshifters, people from the seat of the serpent, people that just aren't real people. Maybe they're a hybrid or half demon, or it can also do with clones or robotoids or what have you. But you look at somebody or something and you can tell their energy's off. There's something evil about them. Their eyes aren't quite right. Stuff like that. I keep my head in the swivel and I notice these things a lot.
I am about to show you the source of all of my nightmares for the rest of my life. So I've been doing some research to do a deep dive into the Uncanny Valley. Uncanny Valley basically explains why things like this are creepy, okay? As things become more like humans, at first it's just cute because it's 10%, 20%, 30% looks like a human. It's like, whatever. Once it hits that 70% threshold, it immediately becomes super creepy. And it's called the Uncanny Valley because everybody just has this thing inside of them where they're like, something's wrong. And I'm put off by it. Which led me to this. I know that art is supposed to make you feel a certain way. This is Kate Clark, and do you want to know what her medium is? Taxidermy and giving it human faces. Here she is on her Instagram with Neil Patrick Harris. She has many museum exhibits open, but this freaks me out. I don't know why, but these images, I could have gone my whole life without seeing this. And now you guys have to see it too, because if I'm this way, I need you guys to be this way with me. I'm never going to be the same again. Why? That's the only question I can think right now. The only question I have for you at this time, Kate, is why? Why?
What if that wasn't fake? What if it wasn't taxidermy? What if those were real humanoid creatures that were made in laboratories or something like that? Just kidding.
Did this video freak you out? It's not because you're scared. It's actually in our genes. This is called the Uncanny Valley effect. It means when we see something that looks and acts almost human, but isn't quite there, it can make us feel uneasy or even scared. The creepiness can vary, but it hits peak levels when the resemblance is strongest. Once it goes beyond that point, our brains tend to tune out the discomfort. Some companies that make humanoid robots or character-driven games Really pay attention to this. Interestingly, we can also see this effect with animals more often. That's partly because we spend so much time with pets, so we notice human like traits more frequently. It's all about probability. Humans have been the top species on Earth since ancient times, and we know how powerful humanoid beings can be. This sense of threat comes from our worries about our own place in the world and fear of the unknown.
I don't know about you, but some of them animals in those videos look like skinwalkers. I swear sometimes I see people like that out in the real world. Look almost like a dog, or you see a dog out in the world that is doing things it shouldn't do, acting human.
Have you ever wondered why we feel fear when we see objects that resemble humans but aren't quite human, while animated characters appear cute to us? To demonstrate that the uncanny valley effect is not exclusive to humans, some scientists conducted experiments with monkeys. They observed the monkeys' reactions to highly realistic 3D models and photographs of real monkeys, judging their emotions based on the duration of the monkey's gaze in each photo. The results revealed that monkeys least preferred looking at the highly realistic 3D models. This suggests that the uncanny valley effect may not be unique to humans and has likely accumulated and persisted through the long process of evolution. Entities that closely resemble humans but are not quite human can trigger a sense of threat. Additionally, scientists have found that when a creature's appearance is dissimilar to humans but exhibits human-like behavior, the human brain issues danger warnings. For example, early Disney theme park portrayals of Mickey Mouse, with their unattractive appearance but human-like movements, were disliked by children. Besides the uncanny valley effect, fear can also arise from real-life events and cultural impacts. The infamous American clown serial killings in the last century associated clowns with murderers. It's worth noting that in the process of animation production, creators strive to avoid the uncanny valley effect by ensuring characters are realistic without being too lifelike. Properly balancing this scale creates a sense of familiarity with animated characters. If this balance isn't achieved, it can easily evoke a feeling of horror. What are your thoughts on this matter? Feel free to
I
comment
think the
below.
whole theory on the uncanny valley effect is just another way for them to explain away stuff they don't want to tell the truth about. It's another way to say, don't believe your eyes. Like, yeah, the sun is, you know, in outer space, millions and millions of miles away. It's not right there above your head local. It's another way to explain that away. So if you come across the reptilian shapeshifter, say at the bank, and your eyes transform into diamonds or slits, don't believe your eyes. You're wrong.
This is not a real person, and she is terrifying people everywhere. This is known as the uncanny valley effect, where these characters look uncanny to a human, but our brain registers something off. This was done from an evolutionary standpoint, and our brain sees them as not one of us. How do you feel about this
Well,
guy?
that was a creepy video there, huh? All right, well, enough of that theory. Let's jump into some reptilians. Let's use our eyes to see through the disguise.
Here's how to spot a reptilian shapeshifter. Reptilians shapeshift using natural camouflaging ability, coupled with technology involving temporary, molecular rearrangement and virtual projection. To spot an extraterrestrial reptilian shapeshifter, look for traits like taller stature, typically brown hair but can mimic blonde hair. They have a long, narrow torso, strong muscular upper legs. Their narrow eyes are always needing constant moisture due to a lateral membrane. You will be able to guess their slit pupils in certain angles of light. The most difficult area for them to maintain projection are the skin texture on wrists and neck, indicating molecular transformation. A large smile with more teeth than normal, perfectly symmetrical faces, and behaviors such as manipulation, narcissism, provocation, energy draining, and thirst for power. The Draconians have used this method for millions of years to not only deceive abductees in slave trade, but to give peaceful Pleiadian races a bad name. It is also important to know many humans have been abducted and are involved in mining monoatomic gold for the reptilian Kiakar Empire, which helps them maintain and boost their neurosystems. It is said that during World War II, Adolf Hitler was in contact with these shape-shifting reptilians who posed as blonde Pleiadian extraterrestrials.
If you've watched my channel, then you know I think my opinion is that reptilians come from the other side of the ice wall or inside of the earth. And I also believe they come from the seed of the serpent. I believe they're Satan's children, and I believe that there's hybrids running around where they've mixed with humans, so they're not all the devil, but half the devil, a quarter the devil, half reptilian, quarter reptilian. I think all the royals come from that bloodline, the secret societies, most of the presidents. Let's keep going.
If you know you reptilian shapeshifters.
World is controlled by shape-shifting lizard people.
Did you know Justin is actually a lizard person?
Okay, maybe it was a little sus how he shook it off.
Hundreds of fans claim they saw Justin Bieber
Separate incident.
turn into a giant reptile. What's your problem?
Yeah, it takes a competent person to understand.
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human. Still,
That's the most natural smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
I can look like a frog.
Oh, God.
Now that's just a funny connection.
I've got one that can see.
25 and Michael Jackson has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, you have a long, healthy life, and so will George Bush and Nicole Richie. I hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
You did great.
Just stop it. She's okay.
I could hear you. I heard you.
Oh, if you weren't already crazy,
What's wrong?
Well, they're all around us. We never knew it. You can only see them with these special glasses.
starts to form around his eyes, sort of cupping it. It seems that it happens for a few seconds before he realizes it and tries to cover it up by touching the area.
Blake is a reptile.
There's another thing. Human roots. Reptile guys. I mean, do you like pizza?
Bro.
Me too, man.
If you know, you know.
God, you're so stupid.
So those last videos we saw, was all that uncanny valley effect, or should we believe our eyes and people were morphing, shifting, changing in front of us from their eyes to their facial features? I don't know. I'm going to go with my eyes.
Was Mike trying to tell us something about shape-shifting? I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. But something seems odd. You'll see what I mean. Watch till the end. You be the judge. At the end of this clip, it's revealed that the black cat is actually Michael Jackson. In this next clip, you will see him change from green and back. Next, we'll notice his eyes look like reptilian eyes. Not a zombie or a werewolf.
Probably not special effects.
And again, in this scene, he'll go from human back to green. I guess zombies can be any color, but green is the most noticeable color. Reptilian eyes. Mike says he doesn't write his own songs. I understand that some people give credit to a higher being for their talents, but watch until the end.
I'm just a source, I'm just a tunnel, a tube through which they come. I feel somewhere in space they've all been written before. I mean, Billie Jean and Beat It and All those songs have been up there somewhere. It just came through to me. That's how I really feel. So I even though I did it, I just can't always take credit. It's like any great artist, I guess. Leonardo da Vinci. I mean, he's doing it, but it's some other higher force that's
Higher
making it
force.
happen.
Maybe that's who we see in the next clip doing the moonwalk. Yes, the film is grainy, but just pay attention to his entire body. He seems to get bigger and turn green. In particular, watch his neck and his eyes start to bulge. Check it out. After watching this video hundreds of times, it's still hard for me to admit that Mike could have been a shapeshifter. I'll admit, I am a little suspect. Look at his eyes, and that neck is a little bit long. You, be the judge.
You ever feel like something's watching you, but it's not human? I'm not talking about ghosts or demons. I'm talking about something older, smarter, predatory. The reptilians. They don't walk among us, they rule among us. Politicians, CEOs, even some of your favorite celebrities. Their skin shifts, their eyes glitch, and what's worse, they're not here for power. They're here for your soul. It's been said, and not just in whispers, that if you ever confront a reptilian, if you lock eyes with one, they don't just scare you, they paralyze you. And while you're frozen in place, they start the process. You'll feel it before you see it. Your chest tightens, like something's pulling your spirit from the inside. Your breath shortens. Your thoughts go silent. And then it happens. They siphon your soul straight through your mouth, through your nose, sometimes even your eyes. They drink the light inside of you like it's wine. And when they're done, you're still standing. But what's left of you ain't you no more. People will say, oh, they changed. No, they were emptied. So go ahead, laugh it off, call it crazy. But if you ever feel the air shift, if your instincts scream run, you better listen. Because if you see one, you were meant to see it. And that means you're already being harvested. Stay blessed, my friends.
Everybody is safe in Jesus' name. If you have Jesus in your heart, these things can't touch you.
Sometime during the Second World War, Nazis were in communication with the reptilian race. And the reptilian race you don't really want to deal with. They're probably the nastiest ones out there that I'm aware of. If you remember I said about the Council of Aliens that put Earth on quarantine, that basically means that these reptilians can't come down and start giving us weapons, etc. So what they done was they pointed the Nazis, knowing that there was a war going on, they helped them find these underground bases, massive bases in Antarctica. Now, these underground bases apparently are millions of years old by another alien race that was here at the time. So the Nazis obviously started to use that. Now, apparently, Hitler himself escaped to Antarctica in a submarine. Lots of submarines were going backwards and forwards. But the US had a trick up its sleeve.
Recent archaeological discovery in Egypt unearthed the figure of a pharaoh with reptilian features. The figure with a leathery surface suggests it's not a statue, but a real being reported to be 9 feet 2 inches tall with an injury under its left armpit. Maybe its cause of death. It wasn't mummified. Instead, it was buried unmarked in the Valley of the Kings. Boise Bigfoot is the purveyor of Bigfoot and cryptid delight.
So thanks for watching the videos. My thoughts on it. The uncanny valley effect. Are we experiencing that? Or are there things out there that are not human? I believe it comes from the seed of the serpent. I think it goes all the way back to the garden with Adam and Eve. And I think the seed of the serpent bloodline has come down through the ages and is still growing strong. I think that gives you your Nephilim giants, gives you your reptilians, it gives you your hybrids, it gives you your half human, half demon. And I think that explains a lot. But that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.